Hello and welcome back to another Mercy VOD review. We did one last week, but today we're doing one at a slightly higher level. We're going to try, helping out our Mercy players out there. But if you want to introduce yourself and maybe your name in game, your SR, what you think you're doing wrong, go right ahead.
Yeah, hello, my name is Benny. In-game it's Finnish Mercy. I am currently a Gold Mercy main on the EU servers, and yeah, I think my problem with playing her is especially my positioning and my mechanics. You can see a few super jump fails in this VOD, and yeah, I hope you can help me.
All right, and we'll probably get into the macro stuff first because I think that's one of the more important parts of Mercy. But I appreciate you reaching out to me and having this VOD, so I hope that I can help you out today here. But let's start it up right away. Let's start talking about what maybe you could be doing better. And obviously, at the start of every game, I don't know if you've seen some of my VODs before, but a lot of what goes into how you're going to be playing, specifically your play style, is going to be based on the enemy team and then what you're playing as well. So as Mercy, you're trying to get a lot of value out of damage boosts because that's really what defines your character. I know in Discord, our Discord, a lot of people have been actually debating whether or not Mercy's a placebo effect. No, Mercy does have an actual impact on this game. Damage boost is by no means something that you should scoff at or is something that should be put aside. Damage boost is definitely something that is a force to be reckoned with. It pretty much makes whoever you're damage boosting, especially DPS, it makes the other DPS pretty much not get to play the game unless the tanks do something. Which in an ideal world they would, but at lower elos, they're not going to be as consistent. So, this is pretty obvious to me, but do you know which character is probably the best damage boost target, just overall?
Overall in the game or in this round particularly?
In the round that you have with your team, who do you think you're going to be damage boosting the most?
Yeah, Ashe, I think.
Okay, yeah. Ashe is obviously very, very good. Even after the nerf, if you get a damage boosted Dynamite, that gives her like 25 charge, if not like 30 to 35. I don't know the specific numbers, but it gives her a lot of charge. But I don't know if you saw the last video. If there's a situation where like Reaper is in their team, you can damage boost and he can absolutely tear through them and get ult charge extremely quick. If he's trying to ult, if Sigma's trying to ult, if Arisa is close to ult and needs a little bit more charge and is in there trying to get it, that's a fine damage boost. Or if Ana gets asleep and she's trying to do a combo on someone, damage boosting her is also fine unless someone else like Ashe is looking at her, if that makes sense.
Yep.
It's not always black and white. There's a lot of different things that could go on. You just have to make sure you're looking for different scenarios in order to do that. And if you want more elaboration, anyone that might be looking at this on YouTube, I do have a VOD from last week where I will go in very, very in depth about how damage boost should be given to different targets, and we talk about that for I think 10 minutes to really break it down. But I don't want to go again breaking it down here today. But let's see again what you have to really be scared about. What on the enemy team is really going to make your life difficult. So obviously they're running Winston D.Va, which means they have the potential to dive you, but it's not really a problem for you as much as it is Ana. Because you have Guardian Angel every 2 seconds, you're realistically not going to die from a Winston and D.Va combo. The thing that you have to make sure that you're doing is that when they do eventually jump your Ana, that you're immediately giving her the heal, so that you're peeling for her upon dive. You're kind of like Brig, but you have more damage than Brig. You have to still peel for the Ana, because if you don't, this comp is very, very deadly for her. So if I was to recommend a switch, I would have probably said either go Baptiste or Brigitte because of the comp that they have. Baptiste just because you have double shield. But Mercy also works fine. If anything, the Ana should probably look for switching to a Bap, I think. Maybe Bap Brig would be good here. That's really high-level stuff, though. It's just a suggestion. It's just because of the tank line and DPS they have. As for what you should be scared about, I think the thing that scares you the most here is the fact that they have a Zenyatta and a Tracer. If they didn't have the Zenyatta, I think you'd be a little bit more safe. Because Tracer can kind of struggle if you're really high in the air. But because they have a Zenyatta in that Discord, you can get taken out pretty fast if you're not in a good position. You said that was a problem, so we'll see if we can fix that today, or if that even is a problem. Well, yeah, I think we can help you out a lot. The main things that they're going to be looking for, Nano Monkey is important to look for, and also maybe Nano Doom or Pulse Bomb. Just stuff that you need to be aware about based off their composition. You wouldn't know until 3 minutes 45 seconds on the clock, but now that we're here, it's important that we know what's going on before we start the VOD. Do you have any questions?
Not so far, yeah.
Then all right, let's get into this. So mechanics on Mercy aren't really the big thing because a lot of it is understanding the macro of it and communicating to your team. But I've played on EU before. Not a whole lot of people talk, and if they do talk, they don't all talk in the same language. So sometimes there's language barriers there too, and a lot of it is based on how well you're performing your individual character. So we'll go over that as well. It's weird that that's like a thing that should be made note of, but I mean, it's real, so let's get into this. Okay, so this is fine because you're behind cover. My only thing is I would just be making sure that you're... The thing is that there's no reason for you to not be getting information while you're doing this. So all you need to do, damage boost, maybe just a little jiggle peek to see what's going on. Because if you stand still here, and let's say in theory they were on Hanzo and they wanted to come over here, you're an easy headshot. And you're not, and you were looking this way at the box and the Ana, that you wouldn't have seen the Hanzo if you decided to flank. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's just something very, very easy that you can do very, very quickly. The thing with Mercy is that because she's not mechanically challenging, you need to be knowing what's going on at all times so that you can optimize your damage and heal. Also, your Ana just got slept, which is a really big problem. That shouldn't have been happening. So they're about to dive her, so you should maybe be anticipating that they're going to be jumping on her and being ready to fly to her to heal. But let's see what you do. See, like right here, and like, this is fine for your level. Like, you're still continuing a damage boost. What I would do is probably fly a little bit closer to the Ana, because soon after this, any good team would probably all be jumping on this and then just chilling up here. You need to be trying to let them not do that and make them pay for that, if that makes sense. It didn't cost you here, but I think the higher that you climb, the better tanks you play against, they're going to start going here immediately.
Okay.
There's no reason for you to not keep damage boosting the Ashe, though. You can keep doing that. You just need to make sure that you're being in a position that's ready to help the Ana if she gets jumped. This is the whole point of that. Let's keep going here. The situation that Reaper is in, that's one of the situations that you could argue you could damage boost or heal the Reaper. The thing is they got out already, so it's not like this was a mistake that you didn't. I just want to make sure that I can highlight that, hey, if you wanted to damage boost the Reaper because he's getting in there, totally fine. Okay, you're chilling. So this right here is kind of like, it's the opposite of what I was saying before. And let me try to explain. So like right here, you were in a safe spot, but you weren't moving. Or like making sure that you were safe in that spot. You still need to strafe a little bit. You always want to be moving in Overwatch, especially as Mercy, because you have the opportunity to. In this situation, it's like, again, if they had a Hanzo, or if they had a hit scan, playing up here is really, really dangerous if you're not flying around. Or at least knowing that you can play back here and crouch and they won't see you. Which is the whole like power part of the position. Right here, it just kind of said, oh yeah, I'm just going to waddle around, because that'll get you killed. If they have the right characters to do so. And that might be the reason why you're struggling against hit scans. Because maybe you're not being aware of when this space is actually bad. Like right now, the space isn't really that bad because they don't have a hit scan that can really punish you for this. But I don't think you understand that point yet. Which is totally fine, because I don't think most people do. But I think you don't understand that, like, the reason why this can be bad is because these characters right now just don't do anything to you on that position. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes very much sense.
I think a better option for you, if you want to heal your Ana, is you could just use Ashe to fly to, and then fly over quick to a different spot, play down here, super jump up back into there. You're in much more cover there, and it's very difficult to shoot you, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense, yeah, I need to stop saying that. But alright, I'm going to keep going unless you have any questions.
Nope.
Alright, let's keep going. And if you do, don't be afraid to interrupt me. Alright. Okay, healing the Reaper, that's good. And now immediately back onto the damage boost. Yep, we're chilling. So you just heard the Tracer go left. You want to make sure that you're always keeping tabs of this Ana. Maybe you are, But when you do play, you always want to make sure, especially if you're playing with an Ana, a Zen, a BAP, really any support, but specifically like Ana BAP, you want to make sure that you're always, well, Ana BAP Zen. Those characters you want to always make sure that you have tabs on for your team if you're playing Mercy, so that when they do eventually get jumped on by something, you're ready to immediately heal and try to help her win that 1v1. It's always something that you need to make sure that you're doing as Mercy. Because you're not just a single pocket bot, you need to help everybody. So Reaper got a little bit too aggressive there. Right now, I'd be immediately looking back for your Ashe, which is what you're doing now. But she doesn't peek. So then what you need to do, yeah, you just need to hit the super jump. Because now she's going to get jumped on. That's kind of on her. The moment that she does... Okay, so let's bring this back a little bit, because I remember you were talking about mechanics.
Yeah.
You know how to do a super jump, right?
Yeah, I know it, but this is the situation I was talking about, that I just fail the important super jumps when I need them.
I mean, the only way that I can really tell you to get better at that is if you just practice more. And like, I mean, the practice range is open for you to really fix it. What I will say is if you are playing mouse and keyboard, which I assume you're on PC, right?
Yes.
I didn't highlight that before, but you can switch the keybinds for crouch. You don't even necessarily need to change it. You could just put it on your mouse wheel. Not mouse wheel, like mouse buttons if you really need to. Personally, I just keep it on Control Shift, but I know that can be awkward for some players. I tilt my keyboard so it's easier for me to hit crouch. That's the whole reason why I tilt my keyboard. But the only real thing I can say is just the more practice you do, the better you'll get at it. I mean, that's pretty obvious, but that's the only thing I can really say for super jumps, because it's something that there aren't any really codes for. Well, maybe there is a code for it. I'm not a Mercy player, so I haven't looked for it. It's also incredibly difficult to do from a range that's like here, because you have to be super perfect on it. If you need more of a crutch, I think the farther away you are, maybe it's easier, but that aside, that's a mechanical thing that you can fix. Let's go and look into not necessarily the mechanical, but like the thought process you had that maybe could have gone better. So you see that the Doomfist flies across and is on your Ashe. Your Ashe still has coach guns, so you have to look where she goes so that maybe you can fly to her so she doesn't die to this Doomfist. She ends up going backwards with her coach gun, quite a far away. So now she's capable of help, but you're not looking there until now, and you're like, oh wait, the Ashe is getting jumped on. That's a problem. Here's the thing: a better Doomfist, a better, I don't know, what else would, a better Echo maybe, a better Genji would have killed that Ashe within seconds. They wouldn't have killed it within seconds if you were there to help her, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So we could blame this on the fact that you missed super jump, or we could actually take the understanding of it, which I think is better, and saying, hey, you maybe missed that jump, but that Doomfist is going to punch her back and she's going to coach gun somewhere. So you need to be ready to then immediately fly after. You can't forget about her, you know? In some situations, you do just have to forget about them because it's their fault. But in this situation, she is within range of helping. She's not like in the back line, and it's not a jeopardy to you if you try to help her. It's only going to create value. You got away with it, but let's keep going. Right. Helping Yana. That's good. Immediately flying to Ashe. I like this. I think there should be more mobility flying back and forth. Yeah, this is good. It's not perfect. Obviously, it seems a little bit awkward, but okay, let's go back. That just comes with practice. Let's go back with what you're doing here. Because I'm a little bit confused. Okay, you fly there, you fly back. So here's my question. Why are you walking for the health pack?
I wanted to steal it from Lucio, so he can't pick it up. Then I noticed I don't miss HP, so I can't pick it up. And then it was kind of an awkward situation.
I think stealing HP, I think that's a high level thing, and like that's something you definitely can do in 1v1s. My only problem with this is that in order to take 75 HP off of a target that you're not dueling, so you don't know how low he actually is, because he's not low at all. Actually, he has shields. Problem is that you have to go through the entire team here to do it, in which you really should die for going like this. The other problem is your connected beam target is on a safe high ground and will realistically carry the fight for you. And by going under your target here, you're going to cut off this beam, and then she's susceptible to death. I don't want to tell you to never get health packs, but what I will say is in this situation, you should do that in situations where it's like, let's say it was over here before the fight, and it was like a tracer running for pack. You pull out your pistol, she's like 3 shots away, you pick up the health pack and kill her. In this situation, it's in the middle of a fight, like the actual middle of a fight. Realistically, there should be more people pushing through here. They're just not together for whatever reason. This is just very dangerous. You don't want to risk your life to get that health pack. You want to make sure that it's just like a troll. So, I mean, the timing is wrong here, is what I'm trying to say. In terms of what you should have done, you should have just went with your Ashe. But it was an error of just a bad decision at the wrong time. I don't know. That doesn't really help anything. But
I understand what you mean.
I think it would have just been better to make sure you pocket your Ashe when she's on high ground. The D.Va just used Fly, or she is using Fly now. So let's see where she actually goes. So yeah, she now flies on the Ashe. Now your beam is cut off, so you're gonna have a hard time helping her out. Stuff like that. And you might actually die for this. Well, you should, but the Lucio just isn't that great. Again, I think this is an attention issue. Your Ashe just got dove on. You want to make sure that you understand what's going on with Ashe. I didn't even realize that she died. And that's a problem. I only realized because of the kill feed. I didn't see it happen. So, immediately you need to be looking at that res, see what killed her. Oh, the D.Va. Now she's not there. Okay, cool, I can res. But that could have been a lot faster had you been like looking at the pressure points that you need to be at. So like right here, everyone's full health. Besides Reaper, who's now walking in. You should be looking to get on high ground. Call to Ashe. Say maybe, hey, group up. Or like, hey, I need help. Maybe that would trigger her to go. I know not everyone's in voice chat, so that's not always something that can happen. A way that you could alleviate that is just like practicing super jump so that you can just do it yourself. Obviously, that's not ideal, and the higher you climb, hopefully more people are in chat, but that's definitely something to look at. You can be up there in that situation. And if you wanted to damage boost Reaper sooner, you could have done that. I think being on high ground at damage boosting, though, gives you more information to like how close he is to enemies. Okay. Yeah, this Reaper, if he dies, that's not on you. Let Diana heal this. Okay. Let's go back. I don't know how your whole team died to a D.Va bomb when you have 2 shields, but we're gonna make this work. Okay. So like right here, you see the pulse bomb going off? I would be totally okay with you immediately flying after that explosion and healing the Reaper. Be totally fine with doing that or healing the Ana if you're not within range. Because they're not even engaging yet for you to be really damage boosting the Ashe. So there's no real argument there. So I'd probably be, since Guardian Angel, which is your fly, is on a 2-second cooldown, I would immediately be flying to this corner, healing my Reaper up, and then flying back. But then things change a little bit. Things change a lot of bit, actually. A D.Va bomb is sent your way. So it's like, what do you really do? Considering your Ashe is right next to you and isn't going to give you enough mobility to really run, I think the first option for you in this situation is to look for a shield or look for some way that you're going to be able to live. So what is that for you right now? Like, where can you fly that gives you the best chance of living?
I think it's the Eraser Shield, or maybe fly in the house to the left.
Sorry, excuse me. I would think flying to the Orisa is probably your best bet, considering this bomb is about to explode. If you had more time, I think the house is a safer option. Because it's not like that shield, it's not like the house can break, the shield can break. So I think here, you're right in saying that the Orisa is the most safe option here. Because you don't have a lot of time, and your Ashe isn't far enough away for you to get away. If you were here, and your Ashe was behind this box, you could easily fly away to here. Easily. The thing is that your Ashe is not there, so you're not really in a safe spot. Your Ashe has coach guns, so if she would have coach gunned, I mean, maybe. But you have to really rely on your team in order to get the value there. But here, it's like, well, I don't really know what to do. I didn't do anything. And then 4 people are going to die. Yeah, looks like 4 people are about to die. And boom. Well, your Orisa died too? What? And your Ashe didn't? Wow, okay. But yeah, then that's going to kill you there. I think your problem is that you aren't getting information as Mercy, and you're not being aggressive to get as much information as possible. On top of that, when you are given information, you're having a hard time deciphering what information is important for you to be looking for. What are the key engagements, the key points that you need to be looking at so that you can comfortably make the right decision. So things like your Ana getting dove, your Ana getting slept, someone getting pulse bombed, being crit. Just overall, just with your Ashe, you know, stuff like that, if that makes sense. So yeah, your Orisa uses her bongo. That means you should just be on heal. Just be on heal because it doesn't stack. To my knowledge, damage boosted bongo does not stack. This is a good Valk, very good Valk, good res. That was a questionable fly. I mean, that's pretty obvious. Yeah. I'm not really going to hard coach that because it was it all happened in a very quick succession. You did hear the Sig ult, or at least I heard the Sig ult. So, I mean, you had time to react, but, like, I don't think this is the most important thing to be looking at. You will die for this. Overall, though, that Valken res was, like, totally good. Like, that was fine. That was, like, some of the best Mercy play I've seen so far in this VOD. Besides the ending, I mean, that could get cleaned up, but the Valk was at the right time, right when the bongo went down, so you got value with damage boost still, and you helped the dive on Orisa and Reaper there. That's totally useful and fine. And you only used 2 ults to win that fight, so you didn't over ult. So, like here, this situation, Reapers slept in their team. There's no reason for you to not be forward helping him out when they wake him up. This might seem really aggressive if you're here, if their whole team is there and you're trying to help the Reaper. Now, okay, if he's obviously going to die, excuse me, it's out of my throat and this mic, jeez. If he is going to die immediately upon waking up because their whole team is on him, you don't need to worry about it. But in this situation, there's only 2 people on him. You have to force them to do what I just said. You have to force their whole team to actually look at him to get the kill. Because that's value. That means they're doing something different than just walking in. That being said, if they're already there and he's about to die because he's just feeding, don't worry about it. In this situation, you can heal this Reaper. He does get away, maybe. But, you can, because like, here's the thing. It's not a 2-second cooldown. You could fly here, help the Reaper, and right when he either dies or wakes up, you just run back. You fly right back to your Orisa and you're fine. There's no reason for you not to peel the Reaper here is what I'm trying to say. He gets away with it, but I think they would have invested more had you been there helping him. Okay, in this situation, you can see your Reaper is starting to get aggressive, has ult, uses ult. I'd be flying to him and damage boosting him. I don't care who's low in the backline. In this situation, no one's going to be in the backline if the front line's dead. So this would be a damage boost error. Okay, this is fine now. Right now, I would be just damage boosting. Where's your Ashe? Your Ashe is really far back. You should, if you can, tell your Ashe to take more aggressive positioning here. But it seems like she wasn't really in chat, or if you weren't in chat when talking. Just a tip. If you see your Ashe being stupid and not getting a lot of value, like in this situation, you can damage boost your Reaper instead if he's actually going to get in there, because there's no reason an Ashe should be all the way back here. Look at that. Okay. This is like an awful position. I don't know why she's there. But yeah, you should be helping your Reaper quicker. And I mean, I think you kind of understand, but you need to be more aggressive about it. Right here, again, Reaper, help your Reaper and your Sig. Your Sig's way too far, like he's just gonna die, whatever. But yeah, this situation, don't damage boost your Orisa. Your Reaper's crit. You're on it. You make sure you're healing him on the way back, because this is like alarming. You can help him with this. And since your Ashe is being, I don't know, a little questionable. There you go. So you hear the blade. Immediately what you need to do, upon hearing the blade, is locate where is Genji, and where are my teammates that I can fly to. You didn't do any of those things, probably because, I mean, you're just trying to get to a better position. What you have to understand is that your positioning on Mercy is dictated by your teammates' positioning. Because you have so much mobility if you just use your teammates. There's no reason for you to ever walk anywhere. Far, at least. The only time you're walking is to get in line of sight of another teammate. So in this situation, immediately when I hear Blade, I'm going to be looking back at that Ashe and being like, hey, I'm going to fly to you right now. To try to get away from the Genji. If that makes sense.
I think in those situations, I just immediately get scared and try to run away without thinking very much.
And obviously that's a problem, but the thing is, the way that you counteract being scared is by being assertive and being aggressive and understanding what the next step is. If that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay. You end up dying for this. Okay, let's see. You probably go Lucy here to stall. I would assume. No. I mean, it's fine if you don't, whatever. Stalling is just a whole other beast. I would go Lucio here if no one else does, just so you can stall faster. You get it off? Oh, barely don't. Understanding timing, whatever. No shot your team wins this, right? I don't think so.
Back in the fight.
Okay, your damage boosting. Wait, is this retakeable? I'd just be damage boosting DPS trying to find a pick and living. That's really important. You need to try to get Valk here. Pulling out the Glock probably isn't the best idea. But this is like really, this is a lot of different things going on right now. I'm not really going to coach this. Things just to review before we get right into it. Number one, the big thing that I'm saying. Wait, hold up. Wait, this whole time I haven't been sharing my screen. Okay. Anyways, number one is to make sure that you are understanding like what the threat is and like what's going on, and that you make sure that you're looking at who is receiving the threat and who needs attention. Obviously you have who's your default, but you also have to make sure that you keep tabs on what you really need to be looking for in terms of like who's getting pressured and who needs the help, because you're not just a damage bot, you're also a peel bot as well. There's a lot of different things that you need to be doing as Mercy. But in terms of your res usage and your Valk, it wasn't bad. I think it was very, like, the timing was pretty good on it compared to where other people would be on your rank. I'm thinking you're doing a really good job of that. The main thing that you need to be doing though is helping out the people that need the help most at every situation. But compositions have changed a bit. Do you have any questions?
No, not really. Thank you. I didn't notice I wasn't doing this.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing with climbing is a lot of the stuff that you do wrong, you don't really realize until either you look at it yourself for like hours and hours and hours, and you're like, wait a minute, what can I do better there? Or someone tells you and it's like, oh, okay, well, I just saved like 100 hours of playtime. So it's like, you know. But yeah, okay. Let's look at the compositions and how they've changed. You no longer have the double shield. You instead have a Rhine and Ball. So, I mean, I could say you could go BAP. I could say you could go Lucio. But I think Mercy's totally fine here too, just because the comp is kind of weird. But your main damage is still going to be on Blank. He's just playing a different hit scan. He's playing Soldier. And let's just see if you can keep tabs on the Reaper better here this round. I mean, I'm not sure if that'll happen or not, but we can always see. Big things that you need to focus on now is they're no longer on the dive composition, but they are playing now to support their Ashe mostly with 2 shields. They now have an Ashe with a Mercy Pocket, so you don't have as many liberties to just walk around and fly around like you were before. You're going to get killed a lot more for being in bad positions, which is probably good in terms of VOD reviewing for us, so we can get more out of it and see where you're actually going wrong and when you get punished for it. Any questions before we start?
No.
Alright, let's keep going. Your team does definitely cap this. I don't know how long it will take them, though. Let's see. You're just chilling. Damage boosting soldier. This is totally fine. Okay, your Reaper. This is good. You just have. I mean, there's not a whole lot for you to really do right now. So I think it's fine that you're just chilling with your soldier, which is totally fine. If anything, the thing that I would be doing is not tunnel visioning on the soldier so much. And making sure that you're like looking through this wall to see like, hey, where's my Reaper? Where did that Reaper just die from? Where did the Reaper just die from? Yeah, he died here. Like making sure you understand where your Reaper is, even if you can't necessarily help him. Because right now you're just kind of looking like, okay, damage boosting the soldier. Let's look at soldier so that if the beam disconnects, I can immediately put it back on. The thing is like, the beam isn't going to disconnect if you're within line of sight of him. No matter where you're looking, it's pretty much going to stay there. The thing that you have to make sure you're looking for is like, hey, could you have flown to this Reaper to help him out with the 1v1? I would argue that you could have been safe doing this, because it would take more than 2 seconds for them to punish you, and then you can just fly back and you made space for your team. If not that, I would at least want to know, like, hey, what's going on with my team over here? What's going on? Where are the threats? Okay, the Reaper just died. Where? Here? Alright, that's where the enemy Reaper is. Maybe I can be a little more aggressive. Maybe I can tell my team to be a little more aggressive. There's a lot of different opportunities here. You're just missing out on all that information because you're worried about a beam disconnecting on your soldier. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Let's keep going. Okay, you're chilling here. This is totally fine. In this situation, if you knew where the Reaper died, you might have been able to get a res off on him here. You might have been looking for it, but you weren't looking for it because, I mean, you didn't know, quite frankly. Okay, my thing is with that fly, while it might not have done anything for you, I want to see more flying in the future. I want you to be more comfortable with flying around and seeing where you can and can't go with fly, because it's important that you're utilizing that to its maximum potential. Like this right here, you haven't been walking a lot when you need to run places. You've been flying a lot. Like this is good. Not all of your flies are necessarily doing anything, but yeah, holy crap, someone just followed and I'm not even streaming. Well, if you're watching this YouTube video, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. So like right there, I think your Reaper is kind of in the wrong. Like he should have just played here. The thing is like, there's no reason for you not to be hugging this wall so that when you need to fly, you're ready. I think you're taking the pocketing a little bit too literally. Because right here, yeah, you could have helped him like this by just healing him or giving him damage boosts so that you didn't need a res there. Didn't cost you anything, but you know, something that you can do better there. You want to make sure that you're helping the person that you're damage boosting, but you're also making sure that like they're the person that should be receiving the damage boost, like, or the ones that need the heal or the help. Obviously, there's more nuance to that, but that's just like the ideas of it that you need to know. So your soldier's flanking top, but I'm all for you helping your team right now. You just have to understand that that's what your soldier's doing, and when he gets to this point right here, that you fly to him because he's looking for a damage boosted visor or a nano visor too. I would just look to damage boost it because I don't know, not as costly. But the thing is, you need to make sure that you're. I would still be helping the soldier on the flank because Diana is realistically going to help the main team. That being said, helping the Reaper here is still good, and it's not necessarily a mistake. It's just a difference in playstyle. All right, right now, Valk, nice. Wow, okay, that's really impressive. Okay, Great Valk. Make sure you're damage boosting the soldier. Because this beam is not connecting to him. You can see that because it's through a wall. I would immediately be switching the damage boost to the soldier. Because he's in visor. He needs the attention. Okay. This is really risky. I would never do this. Unless you had more time on your Valk, I would just be damage boosting your soldier. If you had more time on Valk, I could be okay with this. But you ran out of Valk and now you're taking a very risky 1v1 with an Ashe.
Yeah, I think I'll get punished for this.
Yes, you should get punished. Yeah, that actually might lose you the fight. Yeah, that does lose you the fight. So that's something big. I think a lot of what this is, like, your Valk usage is good. Your res usage is pretty good. The thing that you really need to look at is like what's the main focus of the fight for me right now? Because it's not always just gonna be okay, damage boost soldier and win. Pray to God. Or pray to whatever God you do pray to. Or if you don't pray to at all, just I don't know, chill. I don't know. But like I think that's the problem right now. It's more so understanding what you need to be doing right now. Not the mechanical aspects of it. Which tends to be what the issue is for most players. Like right here. Why are you taking this duel, man? Don't take the duel here. It's Ashe. You're never gonna win that. Even if you're like the best Mercy in the world, that's not a good duel to take.
Yeah, okay. I can see that.
Like, at least fly to the Rhine so you maybe get closer. Or just wait for your soldier. Or help your soldier rather up here because, I mean, there's a Lucio in the backline. I mean, obviously you don't see that, but I don't know. There's infinitely better options than to be taking a duel with an Ashe right here. I think you understand that.
Yeah, I do.
So let's keep going. Alright. Okay. I mean, maybe you could have had the beam on there better, but I still think he would have died. So yeah, now that they went away, going back, flying for res. I mean, the res usage is good. Okay, the moment that he visors, immediately your damage boost goes there. Immediately. Only exception is if he's nanoed. In which you should still be helping him out. Yeah. So, like, this is just, again, awareness of what's going on, what you should really be doing. Immediately, you need to be damage boosting the soldier. And then you need to also realize that your Reaper lost the 1v1. So now you need to be looking behind you to damage, or to make sure that you know where the Reaper is. Because he's just gonna do this. Here's the thing. Immediately damage boost the visor until the visor isn't doing anything. Which means it already killed everything. Which means, okay, the Reaper's taking a 1v1 with something outside of the soldier's LOS. Now I damage boost the Reaper. If that makes sense. Right here, though, he was getting value at the start, but it took him longer so that you couldn't damage boost your Reaper sooner, so that your Reaper dies, and then the Reaper kills you. If you can recognize the domino effect that happened.
Yep.
This might cost you to lose the fight again. It shouldn't. Okay. It would at a higher level, but at this level, I think it's fine. Alright. You now have 2 hit scans to keep tabs of, and now they're on Hanzo. It's almost like this was meant to be. Let's see how you do here. Because we were talking extensively about Hanzo. Let's see how it impacts you at this level. But now you have Cassidy and Soldier, so you have more things to fly to and damage boost that are going to get more value long term. So like right here, really dangerous. At least fly down to your Rhine or play on forklift. Don't just stand here, because if the Hanzo was good, he would have shot you by now. Let's see if he actually shoots you, because you're like right there for him. Nah, he's not looking at you. Alright, so your team just killed 2. Immediately you need to make sure that no one's just walking in, because they should be walking in. The soldier is walking in. Excuse me. I don't think walking the soldier is the right move right now, because your Cassidy's one. The moment your Cassidy is not one, you can fly over to the soldier and help him out on the flank. But you flew a little bit too far. It's okay. You guys still won the fight. Yeah, still helping the hit scan's fine here if you really want to kill the Tracer. I think helping the Rhine would have been okay too. You can see that your ball's about to go... Hold up. I just messed up. Your ball over here was about to go for a slam. That's something you could also look to damage boost. But let's keep going here. Oh, wow. He just got rolled. You can res that, though. Okay, you definitely could have been in a much better spot to res that. Step 1, you could have told your team to push. Step 2, you could have flown below this and resed here so you're safer. Right here, you're very exposed. I think you could have resed from here and maybe gotten away with it. I think you definitely could have gotten away with it. I'm not going to go too hard into that because your reses, for the most part, have been pretty solid. But let's keep going. Do you go Lucio? You do go Lucio. I don't know. Do I agree with that? You're very close to Valk. I think I would have stayed Mercy. Yeah, I'm not going to coach your Lucio. This could have been a lot better in terms of like the rollout, but I don't know specific rollouts. I just do it by what I think. So like right here, I actually disagree with the switch to Lucio. Because the fight was kind of already lost by the time you spawned. And you just lost 70 all charge on Valk. I probably would have just stayed Mercy, honestly. If you do end up winning this, though, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, well, that could have gone a lot better. Wow. Wait, you guys actually win this. Your Lucio, no shot. You're actually carrying his Lucio, what the fuck? Wow, okay. You guys actually win that. I don't know, maybe the Lucio switch was good. I think at a higher level, you definitely would not have won that fight. But you know what? I'll take it. I'll freaking take it. I don't know if it's conventional, but it worked. And that's all that matters. Alright, let's see how you do this here. You have the same composition you've had on attack. They're now on Echo and Zen, which is a little bit scary for you. You just have to make sure what really is going to hurt you here. Like, the Sim isn't really going to kill you. The Sig isn't going to hurt you, you know. Wow, that Zen just rolled. Is that res worth the trade? I don't think that res is worth it. Because...
I remember I was asking myself the same thing while I rest.
Because, I mean, he's going to spawn in 8 seconds, meaning you have 22 seconds on the res. I mean, at the same time, by the time you need another res, you'll probably have it online. So, like, maybe that res is justified. I'd have to look more into that. Yeah, because now you're at choke, 22 seconds. If someone dies here, you just... I don't know. They should just stop playing the game. So, like, right here... just a little bit quicker on the exchange. This was better than before, though, in terms of like looking for what needs help, what doesn't. Yeah, this is a lot better in terms of like looking for what you should be doing. It's not perfect, but it's an improvement. Which, I mean, I know you weren't looking at this before, but like right here, yep. The reasoning why, though, is because the thing that you're pocketing is in a space that allows for you to know what's going on. You need to make sure that even if your pocket isn't in a space that's looking for where you want to be looking, you need to make sure that you understand what's going on. 360. Whole map. You need to make sure what's going on. If that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, good healing. Yeah, you need to make sure that you're helping your Reaper there, because it's very obvious the Reaper is getting targeted and doesn't have Wraith. So, you gotta help the Reaper there. I'm okay with you looking back here to see what's going on, but just do it quicker and help that Reaper faster, because he's on point. He's activated right now, as we said in the last video. It was a good res, nonetheless. Yeah, that Ryan's dead. You're not helping him. You probably know that the soldier's on high ground now, but it's gonna be hard to get up there, so... Okay, it's a good super jump. Just try to live. It was very aggressive. I think a better team would have killed you there, but I'm not going to go too hard into that. This is just a lost fight. Nothing you can really do now. I would just die sooner, honestly. Get Valk and then die. Investing Valk. Why is this a bad idea?
Probably because we just lose the fight and my Valk stuff.
Yeah. You get no value out of that Valk because half your team is dead. Definitely get the Valk and die there. Because there's no way for you to clutch up there. You maybe get the soldier his ult, but that's not enough value to really be warranting that because he should have died much sooner too. Your job is not to kill the sim turrets unless it's like super easy for you to do. You should never get to do that and live. You know, you just went into the enemy's line of fire and don't do that. Let your team do that. Understand your boundaries there. You fight back. What's going on in the main fight? Okay, you see they're over there. Alright, you're gonna start rotating over to this. Don't jump as much, but again, there's a lot more pressing things to be looking at than that, so. Okay, you help the Ryan, he's down, so now you're going for someone else. Your soldier's taking a really long time, but this is good. You're on the soldier immediately when he is visoring. You're giving value to the person that is the focus of your value right now. That was good. You kept healing the soldier because he was the one getting targeted. I want you to do this when it's not the person you're supposed to be pocketing though. And that's the challenge I have for you.
Okay.
Because if that was Reaper and that was the correct time to do everything for Reaper, I would be willing to bet you wouldn't have done it.
Yes, makes sense.
Before I start doing takeaways, do you have any questions?
No, not really.
Number 1. Like we said, understanding threat levels and making sure that you're helping who needs the help. Now that's not very clear cut. That's like, oh, Paz, you could tell that to anyone and that would mean nothing. Well, I think I've showed you enough examples so that you kind of have the perspective of what should be going on.
Yeah, I definitely see what you mean.
So like what going off of this, what I mean is like make sure that you have the knowledge ready. I'm just gonna go KNOWL dot. Make sure that you're giving yourself the most knowledge of what's going on so that you can react accordingly. Because as Mercy, there's no reason for you to not have all the information given to you. That's the whole thing with the character. You're not getting challenged very much mechanically, so you need to make up for something there. You need to be making sure that you're getting knowledge for your team. You're giving them information, you're translating that. This Thursday, I'm actually going to release a video about alt tracking, which is something that Mercy players really should know how to do. It really does a lot for the character because you can really set up the team for a lot of different fights.
Yeah, I'm trying to do
if you understand
but
that.
it's really hard. I think it's really
And yeah, and that's why I'm making the video so that everyone has the resources to actually start learning how to do that. Because it's a skill that's very important. It's hard to learn. That's 100% true. That goes all under knowledge. Next thing, I would say your positioning and movement. I mean, it needs work. I think the first thing you really need to look at is the threat thing. But I'm just going to say movement. There's no reason that you should be walking anywhere as Mercy. I went over this with my last VOD, with the Mercy VOD. There's no reason for you to be standing still. There's always teammates everywhere for you to be flying to. Like that one situation where there was the blade and Ashe was top and he didn't fly to her. This kind of boils down to not having the knowledge of what was going on. But I want you to make sure that when you do find that knowledge, you know what the next step is, which is moving. Or is it time to move to that target? Is that target gonna kill me if I dash to that? Like, where is the Genji going? That's really high level. I think you have the potential to get there. I think right now you need to make sure that you're giving yourself the knowledge to actually perform the stuff that you need to perform. Obviously, super jump could go into that, but that's kind of going to go into my point 3. Point 3 usually with all my other VOD reviews is something mechanical you could do. I mean, you could just try practicing super jump and Qs. Maybe you could find a code for it. Maybe, but it really boils down to just practicing it. And I mean, when you're in Q, you can just practice it in the practice range, so you can feel more consistent about it. There might be something for it though. When you do master the super jump, I would look up on YouTube how to do backwards jumps on Mercy. That really messes up people when you're in 1v1s and you're trying to live. It's incredibly difficult to pull off, but if you can pull it off, it's pretty impressive. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I don't have questions.
Okay. Where are you at right now? 2200?
I looked at 2100.
2100. If you don't hit 2500 within a month of doing all of this and giving yourself more stuff to work with, let me know and I can look over a quick 20-minute VOD for you, because I think this will help you out a lot in the long run. I think so.
Okay. Thank you.
But yeah, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, I really, really appreciate you watching. I'll put an edit in there that I forgot to put all the lines in at the start, so I'll make sure to do that. But yeah, make sure to look for the video this Thursday. I think it'll help you guys out a lot, especially if you're Mercy players, Lucio players, Brig players, yada yada yada. We haven't done a whole lot with those characters yet, but we will within the next year. But yeah, stay safe, stay healthy, happy new year, but until next time, I've got to peace out and Paz out. I'll see you in the next one.